I was thinking about my address and what I wanted to speak about today. And I always get inspiration really on the day. And this morning I woke up and I was reminded of something that I've been reading just lately. And it was very interesting because it's about a Japanese way of living, Japanese way of life. And they interviewed a lot of people who had lived till really ripe old ages of 117 years old. Yeah, 117. And they asked them, they interviewed these people and said, what is it? What is the secret? What is the secret to longevity, to long life? Not just long life, but actually living a really healthy life in mind, body and spirit. And interestingly, they all said very, very similar things. I've got a list here, I won't go through them all, but one of them, which was very interesting, is to stay active and not to retire, which is interesting. They all said, yes, slow down slightly when you have to, but don't actually stop doing what you love, what your purpose is, what your passion is. What is your passion? And sometimes we can't find our passion or we can't find our purpose. We don't know, or we're a little bit lost on that path. And that's really the time for us to go inward and to start to become more spiritualised in a sense, I suppose, connecting to our own inner spirit and our own inner self. And when we do that, we can become have a higher vibrational frequency, which takes us into better health straight away. And this is also to do with the mind and the thinking and the thoughts that we're having. Thinking, everything starts with a thought, doesn't it really? Everything. The thoughts that we have affect our well-being. They affect every single cell in our body. So when we have a negative thought, what's that doing to our body? It's affecting us negatively. It's affecting our cells, our immunity gets low. When we have positive thinking, positive thoughts of love, that raises our vibrational frequency, which affects every cell in our body, which raises the energy and health of the cells. So it kind of makes sense really to be very, very conscious, and that's quite an art. It's quite an art. It's quite a difficult thing to do, but it's a practice that we can all do. And I think that we can change the way we think, and it's not just thoughts. It's also the way we speak about people. So the words we're using. Words are, I always see they're little energetic things that have wings. And they do go along the waves in the universe and they reach people, but they also come back to us. So our thoughts and our words, what we're sending out to people, also comes back to us. So we're throwing that ball and it's coming back. So being very conscious of our thoughts and everything that we're thinking and saying ultimately is good for us in every single sense, as well as how it affects other people as well. Another thing they said was slow down. Interesting. Slow right down. I'm a very active person, so I've always been really used to being on the go and being very, very proactive and doing, raising 2 boys and having a family and running businesses and things like that. I've always been, but just lately I've really started to slow down. And what I've noticed is that everything feels much nicer. Everything feels much more pleasurable. And you start to notice things around you. You start to notice the beauty around you of the sunsets, the plants, of people, actually really listening to people, slowing down, listening to what people have to say, and giving them time, and giving ourselves time. Because I think when we're in our 20s, when we're quite young, we've got this kind of, well, I can speak from personal experience here, this kind of feeling that there's a rush to do everything. I've got to do this, I've got to reach my purpose, I've got to make my life, and it's kind of that sense of trying to do everything really quickly. But actually there is no rush. Because even if we don't really achieve things in this life that we've wanted to achieve, then I believe that we can achieve them in another time, another life perhaps. Perhaps we're not meant to achieve certain things in this life. This is quite interesting as well. They all said that they only eat until their stomach is 80% full. So they eat slowly and mindfully, not looking at the phones and or watching the TV, and to eat good food and to sort of pray on that food and to give thanks for it as well. So that was quite interesting, that they leave something. They don't eat until they're completely full, so they leave something. Now this is the one I really wanted to talk about, is about surrounding yourself with good friends and community. Now, they all thrived in a really beautiful community, having people around them that they love and that love them, and that they care for each other and look out for each other. And that's really important, especially in this day and age, because we have so many people who feel lonely. They might feel they're not part of the community. And it's when you've got, I think Glastonbury has got an incredible community, and we're very, very fortunate here. But it's not like that everywhere. So, and a lot of the people that I interviewed said that every day they would go out and they would visit people. They would go and see friends, they would have a cup of tea or just chat, and just having that interaction with other people is so, so important. Hence why we're here tonight, one of the reasons. When I had the inspiration to bring the community, this centre together, it was done in the mindfulness of the community of Glastonbury, and to bring people together under one roof, and to be in love, and to try and be in compassion and understanding of each other, no matter what our beliefs are, what our thoughts are, to bring us together and to be accepting of everybody's ideas and everybody's beliefs and all of the things that make up the community and people. And to not be in judgment of others as well. When we can really accept others, that really opens up pathways. Accept people for who they are, how they are, and not trying to change people necessarily, because I always find that the best way to change anybody is to lead by example. So to accept and to love and to care. And if there's somebody in your in this community that you're aware of who might be lonely, or is not well, or is in need of help, then it's beautiful to offer that, because when we are able to offer help to another person, that person is also part of the divine. We are all connected as one. We are all part of the divine source of all creation. And when we can help another person, we are ultimately helping the divine, helping ourselves, because we're all interlinked. We are not separate. There's no separation at all. And as much as this world at the moment, as we look at it, there's chaos out there, there's lots of stuff going on that is not pleasant. But if we come together in community to understand each other and help each other and support each other, then that makes us really, really strong. Really strong. And we don't have to be a big community to do that, because strength just comes from being able to give, and to give that love and that care for each other. So that's really what I wanted to share with you. I will go through the other things. So the other one that they said was to move the body, keep the body active. Not to necessarily, you don't have to do, going to the gym and things like that, but it's about yoga, breathing, gentle exercises, Tai Chi. But they all, even, the 117-year-old people were dancing. They went out dancing. How great is that? Just to go and have a good old boogie and enjoy yourself, and to smile. That's another one. They said they smile a lot. Smiling. I walk in the supermarket, I'm sure people think I'm nuts, but I do smile at everybody. And it's sometimes you don't always get a smile back, but it's nice to give one as well. And reconnecting with nature, having gratitude, even when things are tough in our lives, to look at the small things that we have and to have extreme gratitude for those small things really helps us just to be in that lovely state of mindfulness and appreciation. There's two more. Living in the present moment. I love that one. That's a tough one to do. I know I've tried to do it and I do still practice it. But sometimes I have to remind myself, because it's very easy for the mind to wander off, isn't it, and go into the past, or where we've got no power at all because the past is done. I mean, sometimes we do need to reflect, or we go off into the future. And what does the future worry? It's a lot of worry, isn't it, when we look into the future, and the future very often doesn't come out how we thinking it's going to come out anyway. It usually changes in some way. So bringing ourselves into the present moment, and they all said that was where they lived, in the present, because that's really where we've got our power. And if anyone, you know, when you ask yourself, when you're in that present moment, how am I feeling in this present moment? How am I feeling now? Everything's all right, really, isn't it? It's when we start projecting worry and into the future. And the last one was to follow your passion and your purpose, no matter what. So find what it is. What is it that excites you to get up out of bed every day? What gives you that energy, to really say, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's what I really want to do. And that's your passion, that is your purpose. And ultimately, where we need to be. Because why are we living life if we're not happy doing what we're doing? We might as well find something we love and do that, if we can. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Louisa.